Happy Thursday. I wanted to come on and chat this morning on my own page, which is something that I don't normally do. I don't normally show up on my own page, but this is something that I think is really quite important because it's been my journey over the last few years, which has been relatively turbulent, and not everybody's going to know that because it's not something that I have shared openly. But I started my journey into personal development many years ago when I first read The Secret. So many of us started our journey into personal development and into manifestation from The Secret. It opened the world's eyes. It opened us all up to something different that we hadn't really explored because none of this gets taught in schools, none of it gets talked about at home. Not then, anyway. So for me, it was probably about 8 or 9 years ago that I read The Secret, and I read it when I was on the bus going to work. And it was at a point where I was at the end of my career. I was like, I cannot continue to do corporate anymore. It was unfulfilling. It was draining. I felt trapped. So when I read The Secret, I was like, holy Maloney's, this is it. This is how I'm going to live my life. But as many of us know, it's not as easy as that. It's not as easy as just to read The Secret and implement everything. But I started my journey in personal development way back then. And it was also a time where I was dabbling in network marketing. And I thought network, and still do think network marketing is absolutely phenomenal because it is one of the only industries that I'm aware of that actually encourage mindset and encourage um, personal development. But actually, what I discovered was it took me on a different path than I thought it was going to take me. So there's a number of reasons why I don't coach personal development. I do not necessarily think that you need to develop your personality. And there's a few reasons, and that's what I'm going to share today, is why I do not coach personal development, why I have stopped doing personal development. And it kind of links in as well to the law of attraction because a lot of us, when we read The Secret, thought that's fine, I'm just going to attract everything into my life. And then in reality, we were like, actually, this isn't as easy as what I originally thought. And the answer is yes, you know, you're right. Because there is parts of your mind that you will not be aware of that are actually running the show. You have many different parts of your mind. And there are parts, your conscious mind is the least of your worries, the least of your creative powers. It will not create. Your conscious thinking mind cannot create. It's never had the ability, it never will have the ability, it cannot create. Your creative mind and how you're creating circumstances in your life is coming from your unconscious mind. It's coming from memories that you have had from even before birth, memories that your parents, when put together, they created you. And they hold cells and they hold memories. Those memories can go up to 7 generations, which is pretty astounding that when you're born with memories from 7 generations ago that are potentially running your life, that are potentially sabotaging everything that you're looking to do. So that's why personal development, I believe, and like, again, this isn't for you to challenge. It's just I'm sharing with you what I do, how I do it, and why I do not follow personal development anymore. I think number one, personal development gives the power to the negative because we end up focusing on what we don't want. We end up focusing on what we think is wrong with us. Personal development can highlight your belief systems. It can highlight what your values are. It can highlight many things. But it then goes on to focus on them because it will suggest that you need to mend these things, that you need to resolve these belief systems, you need to resolve these thoughts and these memories in order for you to move on. and it brings these into your focus. So therefore, instead of focusing on the opposite, you end up focusing on trying to resolve these things. And this is where it comes on to number two, which is you having to fix yourself. It will highlight, oh, right, you have a belief system that money is bad, that money is evil. Therefore, let's fix that. And then it comes on, to the next part is before you move on. Before you can have this, you must fix this. So we give all our focus to this in order to have that, but we focus in on this and all we're doing is highlighting it. So it's why I don't use affirmations as as a tool. Because if you're constantly affirming something, I am healthy, I am healthy, I am healthy, I am healthy, it would imply that you're not healthy. And when we want to speed up the manifestation process, what we do is we become that version of us that we think we need to be in order to have that, we become it now. So why if you have it now, you don't need to affirm it. If you were sitting with all the health in the world and or even all the wealth, let's talk about money. When you think that you have the money, when you are a millionaire, you're not going to sit and say, I believe I'm a millionaire, because you've already flipping got it. So sorry, I had a note come up on my computer and I don't know what it meant. Let's just ignore it. So that's why I don't use affirmations. That's why I believe personal development, yes, it's to develop, but I believe what it does is focuses you on what you need to fix, and you actually don't need to fix anything because there isn't a part of you that is broken. I also believe that to remove belief systems is actually something that's very time consuming. It's I don't have a I don't know if you can remove a belief. I think it's always going to be there. I believe it's much quicker and much more effective to work around that, to work with a different part of your mind. The personal development world is very geared towards your conscious thinking mind, where that isn't where your power is. And I think, the third thing I wanted to say is it increases the power of the negatives within your life. So if you're feeling negative and believe that you need to fix yourself in order to have that, you need to fix your confidence in order to have the growth within your business. You need to fix your memories in order to have the experience that you want. But what it just all points down to fixing yourself. But you don't need to fix yourself because you are not broken. When we start tapping into different parts of our mind, when we start using the higher forces to actually dissolve some of these memories and to release some of to release the power of these memories that are holding you back, then you find things get to be very effortless. You do not need to fix yourself. And I think the personal development world would say you need to fix yourself. Here's like a great scenario. You can go to a seminar. So if you're in network marketing, you might want to go to a seminar. And I've been to many of them. And everyone's like, oh, you must come because you know how good you feel, and you're right. You feel flipping awesome, right? You go, and if it's not to do with network marketing, you might just go to a personal development seminar, whoever is hosting that. And they're very inspirational. You feel awesome. You're flying on the high that you get for a good few days. You're determined. You're like, yep, here I go. I'm going to nail my business. I'm going to get so many people in my business. This is awesome. You feel awesome. You could take on the world. But then after 2 or 3 days, you come back. You just slowly but surely come back to your normal reality because it doesn't have lasting change. It increases lots of endorphins in your body and it gets you into the spirit of achievement. But then what happens is after 2 or 3 days, because you're not changing anything on a permanent basis, because you're not actually using the different parts of your mind, your conscious mind is fully accepting. It's like, this is awesome. We can do this. We can do this. But your conscious mind cannot create. And that's where these things are these like events are flipping awesome, and I see them all over the social media. I've been to my event and it was awesome and I loved it and it was freaking awesome, but a month later you're still not earning any money in your business. A month later, you're start back to feeling this is awful. Why did I start this business? How come they're doing so well and I'm not doing so well? What is it? I mean, I attend all the events and I feel flipping awesome. And I hear what the people are saying. They're saying, you can do this too. This is so easy. This is all you need to do. In reality, that, yes, it's a buzz and you'll mix with some amazing people, but if they but at the end of the day, if you're not getting any growth, then what's the point? And for me, this is what personal development leads is about. It makes you feel great for a couple of days, but it does not fix anything, and it tries to work with your conscious mind, which just will not work, because your conscious mind will just keep going back to what it knows. It will cannot create something new. Next week, on Monday, I start a 5-day event, and it's called Victimhood to Sisterhood, because your conscious mind will lead you down a path that you are a victim. And I say that with love, because I've worked from a victim mentality for most of my life, and I always will, because we will always have our victim mentality, always. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but we don't want to create from there. So I start on Monday my 5-day event, and it's going to be held predominantly on WhatsApp. But I think I'm going to be doing a live, because I'm going to be doing something a little bit funky with you. And we're going to be talking about different parts of your mind. I'm going to be introducing you to a few parts of your mind that will help you understand why you self sabotage, that will help you understand why you can't get success when everybody else is doing the same thing and getting success and you can't. I'm going to explain to you and help you to move through that, so that you can contact these other parts of your mind, and you will start to begin to realize the patterns that you've had over the years that you've been alive. You will begin to understand that you don't need fixed. You are not broken. You will begin to tap into a resource that is there for every single one of us, that will get you the results that you desire. So that starts on Monday, and in this post in the comments, I will put the link to the Facebook group, but it's not necessarily going to be held in the Facebook group. It's just that's where the details are going to be. And I wanted that so that you could chat about things if you wanted to. So yeah, that's me. I have given up on personal development. And I was speaking to my lovely client last night and saying to her, explaining to her why I think personal development is actually quite a negative thing. It can actually damage a lot of people, because there's a lot of things that are getting taught on here that are making you focus on your negativity, on what parts of you are broken and that need to be fixed in order to get what you want. You don't need to be fixed. You are not broken. Many, many, many people manifest what they desire, and their feelings are they haven't changed who they are. They haven't had to fix themselves, but they still keep manifesting what they desire. Many people, can still feel, if you think of even a lot of famous people, um, like Lady Gaga has said before, that she gets so anxious, so worked up, because she doesn't feel good enough before she goes on stage. Yet she still goes on stage and performs. um got random bits of hair. And there's many people in that situation. There's many, many people, many famous people who say that, before they actually perform, their belief system is, I can't do this. I'm not worthy. This isn't going to work for me. I'm going to get laughed off the stage. There's so many people that are like that, so many famous people, but they don't go to fix themselves. They can still create. So I'd love to share more with you. So if you want to learn more about how you can manifest effortlessly, and how you can start not waiting to manifest, don't wait to fix yourself. And I'm going to explain all that to you as well next week. Have an amazing day.